Yes, let's start today. We are going to start with the revision of Unit 3 Comprehension Text. It's Unit 3 in your blended material, page 19, and also it's Unit 3 in the original book, page 24. The first text, a funny thing happened, and we have some funny stories. This is the first text. So let's start with that. We are not going to read the text again. We are going to answer questions about the text because it's already, or it was already discussed with you. Just a moment. Yes, that's the text, توجيهي. It is on page 24 again in your original book. That's the text as a whole. We have the three stories here. Let's start with answering the first question. Read the stories above, then decide which heading each one should go under. And it is the same question in the book, by the way. So what do you think? Yes. For example, paragraph A. What is the heading that was or that this text can go under? Is it a coincidence, a misunderstanding, or an unintended meaning? What do you think? The story of Fatima and the banana cake. Ahmed. Yeah. Ahmed?
Unintended meaning.
Yes, that's right. Good. It was unintended meaning. You can write the you can write the title itself, or you can write the number. For example, here it is number 3. Huh? So it could be like this, writing number 3. What about the second story? Susan and her friend Jane. What was the heading that this story goes under? Ibrahim. Ibrahim.
Coincidences.
It was a
Coincidences.
coincidence. Yes, it was a coincidence. Or coincidences, yeah. And in the exam, the number is 1. So again, you can write number 1 only. What about number 3? The last one, ya Jamil?
Misunderstanding.
Yeah, it was misunderstanding. Which is number 2. Check. Right, let's move to the second question. Why did Fatima, or why did take to her neighbor, Mr. Aziz? Yeah, why did she suggest taking the banana cake to Mr. Aziz? Ibrahim, what do you think?
Because when she tried one, like Fatima and her, or Fatima mother, when they tried one, it was actually delicious. So they just suggest to have a one to Mr. Aziz.
Very good. So because sorry, she tried one and it was delicious. So this was the actual meaning, or the real meaning for taking the bananas. But what Fatima did was something else, which creates the unintended meaning. When she said to him, And instead of throwing them away, the bananas which were growing brown and they were about being spoiled, and instead of throwing them away, we made a banana cake and brought it to you. So this was the intended meaning. But what happened while Susan was traveling to her office? By the way, this is from the second story. Jamil, please. What do you think?
She saw Jane, a woman on the train, or we can say the old friend Jane.
Yeah, very good. So we mean Susan, saw a woman on the train who actually was her, uh, who was what?
Jane.
Jane, her old friend Jane. Yes, that's right. Good. What about number 3? What does the company often do each year? When we say the company do, or what does it do for the employees? Yes, ya Ahmed.
Do
Can you raise your voice, Ahmed?
some some work of
Unfortunately, I couldn't hear you.
my device.
Unfortunately, it's not a matter. You will try again later, inshallah. Ibrahim, give me the answer. What does the company often do each year?
They organized a day of meeting of those of work from home.
Yes, it organizes a day of meeting for people or for those who work from home. Yes, for those who work from home. Yes. I think the last question in this set of WH questions. So pay attention, توجيه. The first question was to match paragraphs with the headings under which they go. It might be paragraphs with their titles or headings or main ideas. So matching, or sometimes you can choose the best title, which you have to circle one of the options. So pay attention and try to differentiate between the two questions. And now the second set of questions was WH ones like how, what, when, where, why, etc. The last one of them, how did the short, bald man react to the situation? How did he react to the situation? Ya Jamil.
He didn't see the funny side about this situation.
Yeah, he was rather formal. And he was a serious man and didn't see the funny side of the situation. Good.
Teacher, if I say
Yes.
he said, I am sorry to say that you may have made an error. Is it true?
This is what he said, but here he asked me how did he react, his reaction. يعني ردة فعله. ردة فعله it does
Yes.
not mean you have to mention what did he say, huh? You have to say, yeah, Ibrahim, he was rather formal and didn't see the funny side of the situation. Clear?
Okay.
Of the, so sorry, I have to work on two keyboards because the original one on the laptop have some missing letters. So didn't see the funny side of the situation. Yes. Type. The third type of questions in the text or in the comprehension part of the exam is decide whether the followings are true or false. Sometimes they say decide whether the following statements are true or false according to the text. Now, sometimes they ask you to give the statement from the text that shows you the answer. Yani, how did you know, for example, number one is it true, number two is false, number three is false? You have to give the exact words from the text. Sometimes they ask you to do that, but mostly they ask you only to give the or to decide whether the statement is true or false. Let's start with number one. أيوة يا Ahmed, try please.
Fatima didn't enjoy making banana cake.
Mhm.
False.
That's false. Good. She liked doing that. Yes. Number two, Jamil.
Jane had living in London for over 5 years. It's a false.
It's
Italy.
false also. Good. And number three, أيوة يا إبراهيم.
The company meetings allowed colleagues to talk to each other more often. True.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true. Good. And number four. Number four. أيوة يا أحمد.
The man butted the stranger
Patted.
because he
Patted the
thought
stranger.
patted the stranger because he thought that he was his colleague. Dan. True.
True. He patted him because he thought that this man is his colleague Dan, but it wasn't true. He was someone else. Yes. Now the next type of questions is complete the following sentences. It is also usual to have such questions in the comprehension part, and the answers actually are from the text itself. So don't worry about this. Yes. Let's start with number one. Fatima told Mr. Aziz that they made cakes from the old bananas instead of what? They made them into banana cakes and brought them to him instead of أيوة يا إبراهيم.
Throwing it.
Yes, throwing them away. Sometimes your voice vanished, but it's not a matter. So throwing them away. What about number two? Number two, while Susan was talking to her old school friend, yes, أيوة يا أحمد, while Susan was talking to her old friend, Ibrahim.
She mentioned another person called Jan who had
Yeah,
been in the same.
she mentioned another person called Jen. Yes, mentioned another person called Jane. Yes. I'll try to put the answer here. Just a moment. So this is for number two. Pay attention to this. Two in question D. Yes. What about number three? In the last company meeting, the man went straight to bed because he Yes. Why did he go straight to bed and did not meet others? Ahmad.
Because he arrived at the hotel quite late.
Very good, very good. He arrived too late or late for the hotel. Yeah, that's right. He arrived late at the hotel. Yes. Let's move to write what the following pronouns might refer to. Also, this is a very important question. Referential words. They could be pronouns, they could be numbers, they could be phrases or expressions. Sometimes you are asked to write what do the following expressions mean, paraphrase them, say what do they mean in your own words. So pay attention to such questions. Number one, them. In story A, they assigned the word in the text itself, and I'll show it to you here. But it kept Fatima busy, and we had fun making them. Them refers to what? Aya Hala, can you give us the answer? Hala? طيب. Ibrahim?
We can say banana cakes.
Yes, that's right. Banana cakes. طيب. What about hair in story B? Neither of us had heard from hair. Hair refers to Aya Ahmad.
Jan.
Yes, hair refers to Jan or Jane according to how they write it in the text. Yes. In this way, we answered a sample of the Ministry of Education exams about text 1 in Unit 3. Here we have another text and another example from the other text, which is in period 2 in Unit 3, which talks about coincidences. And it is a very important text. It is found in page 26, I think, in your original book. Yes, it's in 26. And in the blended material, it is in 21, page 21 here. So let's start with the questions about it. By the way, the text first talks about why is the world small, because people connected with each other and they have some mysterious things happened with them, like meeting someone you know in another country and neither of you know that the other was there. In the second paragraph, they talked about definitions and explanations of coincidences. In paragraph 3, they talked about the mathematical explanation or the scientific explanation of coincidences. And in paragraph 4, they talked about how coincidences increases in one's life as much or as long as he is still alive, yani as long as he gets older and older. These were the 4 paragraphs in this text. So let's start answering questions about this text in one of the samples of the Ministry of Education exams. The first questions or set of questions are WH ones. What do people think of coincidences? Yes, yeah, Ahmad. When I say what do they think about coincidences, the answer is here, pay attention. He did not ask you to give definitions. Huh? They ask you, what do people think of coincidences? How do they explain them? Aya Ilham.
Experience like this are evidence of something mysterious happening, some kind of hidden plan outside our knowledge.
Excellent. This is the answer. and I think it is a very long one, so I'll write the number on the text itself, but don't do that in the ministry exam. So, evidence of something mysterious happening, some kind of hidden plan outside our knowledge. We can underline it here. This part and this part. Yeah. What about question number 2? What two definitions of coincidences does the text give? The two definitions. أيوة يا إبراهيم.
The first one, coincidences are events that we can say that unexpectedly happen at the same time for no clear reason. Or
Very
the
good. This is
second
the first. Yeah, this is the first definition. They are events that unexpectedly happen at the same time for no clear reason. Now, the second one, Ibrahim.
finding an unexpected connection between seemingly random things or people.
Good. So this is the second definition. You can underline the answers in your book or have
Teacher,
screenshots. It's okay. Yes, yeah, Ibrahim.
I wanted to ask you now the scientific explanation. The explanation, one definition or two?
Definition 2. يعني if they ask you what is the scientific definition of coincidences, you say finding an unexpected connection between seemingly random things or people. This is the scientific one, ya Ibrahim. تمام?
Yes.
So pay
And the
attention to this.
first,
Good question.
the first
Now,
one we can
coincidences are events that unexpectedly happen at the same time for no clear reason. There is no explanation for that. Only events happen at the same time. Because if you
Okay.
notice in the coming paragraph, I mean paragraph 3, they try to give you examples of scientific explanation of coincidences, the mathematical way. How do they explain that two people have the same birthday at the same in the same room if the number is 23 or the number is 48, etc. Clear, ya
Thank you.
Ibrahim? You are welcome.
Yes.
طيب, how does the writer prove يعني make sure أثبت coincidences scientifically? How? Scientifically يعني by using science. يا أحمد.
Talking to a complete stranger and finding that you have the same birthday.
But this is the example. The question is not give me an example of a scientific coincidence or an example of the definition of coincidences, the scientific definition of coincidences. They ask you how does the writer prove coincidences scientifically by using what?
When there are
when there are 23 people in the same room, 50% chance that two of them have the same birthday. What is this kind of explanation? Ibrahim. Thank you, Ahmed. By using a mathematical way. This is how he proves coincidences scientifically. كيف أثبت المصادفات هاي علميا by using a mathematical way. The mathematical way in this part here. But only write by using and then complete your answer by writing a mathematical way. A mathematical way to prove it. To prove what? The scientific definition of coincidences. So this is number 3. Yes, what about number 4? When do you definitely come across coincidences? Definitely, surely.
Teacher, I wanted to ask
Yes,
you
yeah, Ibrahim.
for the last question, which is how does the writer prove the coincidences scientifically? You said when you teach us the paragraph and explaining it, you said there is two way. The first one mathematical way, and the second one, which is the last paragraph, which is there are so many events in people's lives.
Yani, you want to give these two ways?
Yes, you said
Now,
when you explain the
when we
paragraphs.
explain the text, you mean?
Yes, yes.
Aha. But how he
Same.
proves? How he proves the scientific? He gives us evidence. عارف شو يعني proof؟ أثبت. By giving
Yes,
us evidence, by giving us numbers. إنه he used a mathematical way. تمام. The second part of the text, he talks, or the last paragraph, he talks about the idea that as long as you get older in your life, you meet more and more people and you will have more and more coincidences. And also, he talks about that, yani, when you are a person who talks a lot to people, you will find coincidences. But proving means using science, using maths, having evidence. انتوا علمي يا توجيهي. So you have to know this. Proving something by using evidence. بده يكون عندي إثباتات. تمام؟ اللي هو الماثيماتيكال way. هلا يا إبراهيم, if they ask you to give يعني 2 points, you can talk about this. But if you only have to give one answer, اللي هو like what you have here, you don't have A, B, for example, write this by using a mathematical way. And even here, he gave you some numbers. So this is the mathematical way. Tamam?
thank you. Okay.
Yes. When do you definitely come across coincidences? Yani, if you are, which kind of person you can have more and more coincidences in your life? Ibrahim.
The older you get, you will
The older
have
you
more.
definitely come across coincidences. Some people, even if they are old, they do not have a lot of coincidences because they are isolated. They are outsiders, as we say. So the answer here, if you are the kind of person يعني who likes to talk to strangers, you
Not
will
stranger.
definitely, surely, certainly you will have this if you are the kind of person who likes to talk to strangers. You will definitely come across coincidences in your life. تمام? So this is the answer. If you are the kind of person who talks to strangers, you will definitely, شايف يا إبراهيم, you will definitely come across coincidences. It is direct from the text itself. So this is question number 4. What about true or false statements? Let's be faster, توجيهي, to finish this at least. Decide whether each of the following statements is true or false. Strange coincidences make people say it's a small world, isn't it? True or false? Number 1. Ibrahim.
We can say true.
Yes, that's true. People prefer more exciting explanation for strange coincidences than scientific explanation. They like the strange, the exciting explanation. It's a part of mysterious events that happen in our lives, a part of a hidden plan outside our knowledge. So is it true or false that people prefer this kind of explanation more than the mathematical way? What do you think? يلا يا توجيهي. Ibrahim again.
True.
Yes, people are reluctant to accept the scientific explanation, so they prefer the strange one, the exciting one. Yes, yeah, Jamil, the writer concludes that coincidences happen more often than we think.
This is true because he say happened more often.
Yeah, they happen more often than we think. تمام. طيب, what do the pronouns refer to? This اللي هي here. People often think this experience is like this. What is the experience that is mentioned in the previous paragraph? Aya Ibrahim. What kind of experience is this?
We can say coincidence.
Strange
Actually,
coincidence. What? It's a strange coincidence. What is it?
uh,
Running.
uh,
You run into a
actually,
person you know from home. This is the experience. You meet someone from home, you know, from home. By chance, neither of you know that the other was there in that place. Tamam? This is the first referential. The second one, we have them. One of them. Them. One of them will almost certainly have the same birthday as me. Who are them? Jamil.
15 people.
50. Yeah, it's 50 people. Yes, good. What about it? Yes, to accept it. Here, it refers to Ibrahim.
the scientific explanation.
Good. The scientific explanation. It's here, as you can see. And what about the last one there? There.
Another home.
Yes, there refers to another home or another country. That's right. You are going there. اللي هي another country. Here. This is the
Teacher,
answer.
can you please explain the third one of true and false?
Yes, the writer concludes that coincidences happen more often than we think, because we meet more and more people as long as we get older. Coincidences happen more and more in our lives. This is what he concludes. The only surprising thing is that coincidences don't happen more often. You mean it should be false? Yeah, Ibrahim.
I think because there is don't, like easily make it a negative.
But look at the first part of the paragraph. He said the other part of the scientific explanation for coincidences is simply that there are so many events in people's lives, and as much or as many events or as more and more events in your life, you will have more and more coincidences. That's the idea. It's a complex thing, by the way. Frankly speaking, sometimes it is some statements might be considered as true and false. In the Ministry of Education exams, when we correct the students' answers, sometimes we can have it as a true or false. But here, the conclusion that coincidences happen more often Then we think, how does he prove that? By the mathematical way, and by the idea that as long as you live, you will have more and more people in your life, and you will have more and more events in which you will find coincidences. تمام?
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. I think we should stop now because time is finished. We will have other texts here about other questions about the second text. By the way, I put the link for this book on the community of my YouTube channel, as I promised, ya Jamil. You can find it there, and you can have more and more practice about this text and other activities or other parts of the material. I will stop now. Meet you next Sunday, inshallah, at 4:10 to start with unit. I think it's seven in the original book, huh? We will start with it on Sunday, next Sunday, inshallah.